own brand of magic, scoring a second and having a hand in everything else, as the stunned Madrid crowd could only watch in silence as Barcelona demolished their heroes 5-0. 20 years later, with Cruyff now manager of what many regarded as Barcelona's dream team, they went about carving their own piece of history. First, the masterful Romario opened the gates with a brilliant individual effort, followed by a trademark Ronald Koeman free kick. Madrid officials were tense, but would be in a lot more pain by the end of the day, as Romario collected his second with ease. And with the help of the elegant Dane, Michael Laudrup, his hat-trick. But it was still not over, as Romario, with a brilliant piece of interplay, set up the elusive fifth goal, much to the delight of the Barcelona fans, who savoured every minute of this victory and shared a sense of déjà vu with Cruyff. 12 months later in Madrid, as reigning league champions, the confident Barcelona took on a pensive Madrid. But if this was the case, someone hadn't told the Chilean Zamorano, whose lethal shooting had earned him the nickname Bam Bam. Zamorano was on a roll, with another clinically executed finish that had new manager Jorge Valdano ecstatic. The tenacity of newly defected Barcelona star Michael Laudrup quickly set up Zamorano's third. More was to follow. Zamorano narrowly missed grabbing a fourth before Luis Enrique obliged. Revenge was almost complete as a revitalized Madrid put the final fifth nail in the Barcelona coffin. The winds of change for Cruyff were taking their toll. A long-time cigarette junkie with the usual managerial pressures, mounting boardroom conflict through his outspokenness, and insistence to play his type of attacking football had already put him in hospital and made him a regular target for an unforgiving Spanish media in which satirists were only too keen to impersonate and lampoon.
La llegada de Cruyff cambió muchas cosas en el club, sobre todo por su mentalidad ganadora, ¿no?
Pero introdujo cosas que nosotros no habíamos visto todavía. Yo era muy joven, pero sí la sensación de ser un jugador diferente, ¿no? De alguien que hacía dentro del fútbol, que siempre parece que está todo inventado, pues hacía cosas diferentes, ¿no?
Tácticamente muy bueno, uno de los mejores.
That's why I think that playing well is very important, because only winning, I don't think that's enough.
Cruyff's record is an enviable one. Respected as a player's player and a manager with a belief in his convictions, he also has more trophies to show for it than anyone else, the most coveted being the elusive European Cup in 1992. Whilst Cruyff allowed his detractors to take the glory, he knew this was the one trophy that would bridge the great divide between Barcelona and their eternal rivals Real Madrid, and gain the club the recognition of being at long last the bride rather than the frustrated bridesmaid. The Barcelona-Real Madrid rivalry is known as the never-ending war for good reason. A recent survey amongst Barcelona fans showed 48% were happier to see Madrid lose than Barcelona win. The tribal rivalry is a cartoonist's dream, as everything has a meaning that can be manipulated or used to commercial value. And what better carrot to use than the greatest prize of them all?
En Real Madrid Televisión.
Both clubs now have their own TV stations that offer subscribers everything they could possibly want to know about their clubs and more. Hype is everything, and success is paramount, not just because the club is Real Madrid, but because it's the key to drawing more subscribers into the fold. Whilst Real Madrid TV choose to stress their achievements, Canal Barça prefer to concentrate on their language and cultural status, as well as the club's range of stars. The club has an enormous family tradition. Rivalry on either side has indeed become as much a business as an institution.
A rivalry is something fantastic. I mean, you mustn't take that away, because there's no rivalry, there's no game.
Está muy claro que una persona que viene de fuera no entiende en muchos casos qué significa la rivalidad Madrid-Barcelona, y a veces pues no tiene al alcance de de su mente la posibilidad de entenderlo.
So you play in an ordinary league match there, it's relatively quiet. You play against Real Madrid, it's like some sort of explosion when you come out the tunnel, fireworks, and it's absolutely packed. It's just different.
Pero bueno, vamos a ver. No me digas que no es bonito ver el Real Madrid blanco con los mosaicos, que parece que haya nevado, aunque esté en verano, ha nevado en verano.
And then, of course, there are the sponsors.
Creo que la gente no se da cuenta qué significa jugar tantos partidos pero todos los partidos de Liga, que ya son los de Copa. Y una vez jugada la Supercopa, vemos a Europa para jugar todos los partidos de la Liga de Campeones. Pero estoy contento que los jugadores estén en forma, aunque yo esté fuera de juego.
We need his back. Work it!
Images mean big money, with exposure being the name of the game. Merchandising spin-offs through sportswear and endorsements have increased dramatically. The bigger the club, the more marketable they are. And they don't come much bigger than Real Madrid and Barcelona, who have a vast global network. Training sessions are covered in depth by their own broadcasters as they produce reports on everything that might influence a player's performance in the lead-up to an important game. With fan clubs spread throughout the country, large numbers of supporters make the pilgrimage to catch a glimpse of their heroes in action. But they invariably take second place to a media well-versed in grabbing the best position. Most are after one thing only, the image that will later create a talking point at the daily press conferences. Training often reveals underlying friction amongst certain players. Both teams have a strict policy that the club is bigger than any individual and should always be an inspiration to others. With so many top-class players competing for first-team places, it needs a strong manager with a good vision to make the right decisions for club and player. If ever strong leadership was needed, it was during the 1930s Civil War. Spain was in turmoil. A military coup, headed by General Franco, fought a bitter war of ideology against the ruling Republicans, dividing family and friends against each other. Franco's fascist ideals brought him questionable allies, as patriot and partisan died in huge numbers, including Barcelona's young president, Josep Sunyol, in the first week of the war. A popular Catalan politician as well, Sunyol's tragic death would intensify the already bitter feelings between Catalan and Castilian. Franco, though, went from strength to strength. A role model for most football coaches, he cleverly played his enemies off against each other. In 1941, controversy surrounded the political intimidation used to influence the outcome of an infamous cup match between the two sides.
O sea, que había una pasión contra el Barcelona porque era catalán y como Cataluña fue la última que en la guerra cayó, digamos, pues la pasión esta ya existía, ¿me entiendes?
Deporte fue también un elemento que el franquismo utilizó para demostrar su potencia. En aquel momento la dictadura no tenía presencia en el mundo. Por tanto, el gobierno utilizó también el deporte para su expansión exterior y por esto el Real Madrid ganó 7 copas.
Real Madrid estuvo a punto de ser disuelto por Franco. Estuvo a punto de ser disuelto por Franco porque había quitado el Real durante la República y había tenido unas conexiones con partidos progresistas y de izquierdas durante la República. Hubo que nombrar a un general el general Meléndez, presidente, para salvar al Real Madrid de la disolución. Una vez más, es que el Barcelona tiene una buena política de imagen y se inventa las historias muy bien inventadas.
El fútbol hemos de intentar, como todo el deporte, que esté apartado de la política.